What's good, grind schoolers? It's your boy Rob, and we back in the shop today. So today we are jumping back on the bodywork on the El Camino. The last few videos I've been trying to break it up like I said I would, and give y'all some driving footage, some other type of videos and stuff like that, just because I didn't want to make the videos so like, you know, the same type of thing or whatever, which they're still not going to be the same type of thing. We are going to go ahead and smash through the bodywork on the Elco. I'm not going to show a whole lot of that process because I've already done a lot of it. But my goal is to get this thing in polyester primer really soon so that we can die coat, do my die coat and sand down the low spot, or sand it down and then fill in the low spots, and then we could primer it and paint it and do all that good stuff. That's my goal within the next couple of weeks, and it seems like I'm going to have to get some space heaters in here because it's cold. So anyways, man, if you haven't done so already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell notification so you get a notification every single time we drop another video. Also, if you don't mind, go ahead and share the video with somebody like yourself that might like the video content that I'm producing and putting out. It helps me out tremendously. Hey, and it's free. So anyways, man, today what we're gonna do is we're gonna work on the front bumper. We're going to pretty much fit it fiberglass what is missing to make it look really flush and make it look like it deserves to be there. We're gonna take out the mirrors, take out the door handles and the door locks, and then that should be pretty much it. It'll probably take me a little while because I gotta Dremel out the front bumper, and then I gotta add some more material like fiberglass and stuff like that to make it flush and make it look like it's always been there. And I'll show you guys what I'm talking about in a minute. But anyways, man, if y'all could do those 4 things for me, that would be so amazing, and I would definitely appreciate it. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the video. All right, y'all, so pretty much what we got to do is we got to take the mirrors off, the door handles and the lock off, so that we can sand down all around there and get it nice and flush. I'm debating whether I want to take the weather stripping off on this side. I might just do that. I mean, I don't see why I shouldn't. I'll probably just take the weather stripping off too, and trash it because I already got some new ones. But this is what I'm talking about. Down here, this bumper never really fit when I first got it. And I don't know if it's because, yeah, I don't really know. However, what we're gonna do is we are going to insert a piece here to make this corner round off. We're gonna make this corner round off so that it looks like it deserves to be there, instead of having this little gap and the fender looks all kind of weird and stuff like that. What we're gonna do is we're going to cap that off and then fiberglass another piece onto that, and then we're gonna Dremel this piece out and make it as thin as possible. And then I'll probably put my my cardboard backing with the aluminum foil on here, slide it back in between here, fill it back in so that it's nice and flush. And then once it starts to kind of like dry a little bit, we'll take the cardboard out, and then so we'll have a nice flush body line, kind of like this. We'll have a nice flush body line like that right here, and it will look seamless. So that's the goal. That's what I'm trying to do, just because that is not gonna fly. So if somebody walks up to the car, you can clearly see the bumper is not right. You know what I mean? So we're gonna go ahead and fix that. We're gonna go ahead and fix that so that, you know, it's it looks like it deserves to be there. And then we'll go ahead, after all that's done, we'll take that off. We'll take the bezel off, trash the bezel because it's no good. And then we'll start sanding all this down, and then we'll start working the fender back with the body filler. Like I said, I'm not gonna show a whole lot of that process anymore because I've already done so. So let's go ahead and get to work on this front bumper cover, and then we'll start, you know, knocking the rest out. And also too, when I pull the bumpers off, I'm gonna work on trying to get a bumper. I'm gonna work on trying to build a tubular bumper underneath this cover and underneath that cover, just because of the simple fact that that steel bumper was attached to the frame, and now there's no basically bumper in between, you know, or in the front. Now it's just the frame. So this thing is just attached to the fenders, it's not attached to the frame. I want basically a tubular rod or whatever underneath here that's really solid, real steel, for like protection, you know what I mean? For obvious reasons. And definitely back here, just because, you know, my gas tank is back there and I really want something that's really sturdy underneath there. So I'll probably build it, cut it up, measure it, do all that kind of good stuff. And then I'll have somebody weld it together for me. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do, man. We gotta get back to work on this Elko and really get it done. So yeah, man, let me go ahead and start mocking it up, start dribbling it out, and yeah, we'll just see where we end up at. So this one here on the passenger side looks a little bit better. So pretty much we might not have to do what I'm attempting to do on the other side to this side. We'll just cut it and make it more flush and make it more even. And hopefully everything just sits up under there nice and flush. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get to work, man. Start dremeling and, like I said, see where we end up at. Hopefully get everything nice and flush and just right 100%. All right, y'all. So what I'm doing is I'm taking this piece of cardboard and I'm basically mocking it up. So I want this to wrap around the fender, not attached to it, but like have the body line, like I said, real nice and snug. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this piece up and make it wrap around the fender, and then I'll cut the excess off, and then we'll wrap it in some fabric and attach it to this piece of fiberglass, and then we'll fiberglass everything all together, and it should be a nice clean look instead of looking like you got an incomplete gap right there. So that's what we're gonna do, man. After I cut it out, I'll cut y'all back on once I'm ready to like Dremel the rest of this out and then start putting fabric and fiberglass on there. So let's keep working. All right, so I pretty much got my cardboard cut out, pretty close. We're gonna go ahead and Dremel that out, and we'll fiberglass this all together, and it should look pretty decent. All right, y'all. I really like that Dremel. It allows you to get real like precise cuts up in here. So now pretty much what I'm gonna do is I had to unwrap it, but I'm gonna wrap this back with foil and I'm gonna slide it back here. And then I'm going to basically fill in the gaps. I'll fill in the gaps or whatever, just so that, you know what I mean, like this is more like flush and we can build like another layer of fiberglass up under here. And then I'll fiberglass that other piece. Luckily on the other side, all we have to do is, pretty much just fill in the gaps with the fiberglass, because this thing cleaned up pretty nice. It was pretty jagged and stuff up in there. So all I gotta do is slide my aluminum foil piece, cardboard piece, behind here and fill in the gaps, because this one kind of filled in pretty nice, you know what I mean? Like kind of what I'm looking for on the other side, but this side already is good. So what we're gonna probably do is just fill in this with the fiberglass, and then after we're done with that, this should be able to be nice and flush. And the reason why I'm using that cardboard piece is so I still have like a nice tight body line right here, and I'm not like up against, you know, the fender just like that. So everything is pretty much coming together pretty well. We still got a little bit of work to do. We still got to cut that little piece out right there, and then this thing should be good. All right, so I got my little piece made, cut out, wrapped with the fabric. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna put this on here. And we're gonna attach it just like that. And then we'll fiberglass it around. Fiberglass around it and make it nice and flush. And yeah, that piece will be complete. And then I think I'll just put some body filler in here just to make it like a straight line. And then I'll go ahead and cut it out or whatever I gotta do to make it look like it needs to look. We'll probably just do that. I might even just take this thing out of here just so I can get a tighter line. And then I'll just take my knife, cut in between the body filler. And then once I'm done, I could take the bumper off. I'll sand the body filler down off of here, and then we'll be good to go. I think that's the course of action I'm gonna take instead of this. I'm not gonna fiberglass anymore, so let me go ahead and take this out. We'll just do the body filler right here. And then, like I said, I'll just sand the stuff down that I miss, and then I'll take my knife and like make a line in between, make it nice and tight. All right, y'all. So we got our piece fiberglass in there. We're just gonna wait for it to dry, and then we'll do the body filler stage after that. And then this bumper will be ready to come off, and then we'll do the rest of basically the body work on the bumper after we make sure everything lines up. All of that's getting cut off. The edges are gonna get cut off and sanded down and dremeled out and all kind of good stuff. And we'll body fill this whole entire piece. And yeah, make it do what it do. And then after that, this thing should be perfect. All right, so we got the roof knocked down, hood knocked down, and now we're just gonna keep on going around and around until it's all good and done. Now we'll go ahead and let the front dry. After it dries, we'll do the body filler, and then we'll make our indentation so that we can get the body work just right. And then we're just gonna go ahead and take off the mirrors and the door handles now, so while we wait for it to dry out. So let's go ahead and jump on that, and then yeah, just keep moving. I gotta sand these spots down or back here, get all that surface rust out of there. You know, just keep working, I guess. Oh man, that looks pretty hideous too, so we'll try to figure that out too. But yeah, man, let's keep working. This is a grind for real, man. It's a lot of work, but yo, we getting there. All right, y'all, so I got everything all out of the door. This is the weather stripping. You can see how terrible it is. And I bent it because I was trying to get one of the stubborn screws out. But you can see how terrible it is. It's pulling off of the trim and all that kind of good stuff. Like I said, I got some new ones, so I'm not tripping on it. But that's from years and years of just old age and stuff like that. And I actually hate working inside the door just because it's so tight, and the accessibility for things is like not it. Got the mirror out, got my screws for the weather stripping bagged up. I got my door lock and my door handle bagged up. Reason being why I wanted to take obviously everything out, you got to take it out anyway, and so you can get all of that, access to all that. I'm gonna sand all that stuff down, and I'm gonna sand this part down. I'm gonna take my front bumper off. This still hasn't dried yet. It's the next day. Still hasn't dried yet, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a piece of tape alongside there, and pretty much what I'm gonna do is I'm going to backfill that hole with fiberglass. So I'm gonna, you know, basically do the same thing I did here, wrap it up, put it in fiberglass, and that tape should give me a correct line. So it'll be thinner at the front, obviously, because the gap is smaller, and then going towards the back, it'll be a little bit thicker, and I should have a nice body line, just like right here. I should have a nice body line right there when I'm done with it. And also too, I think I had mentioned wanting to take that weather stripping off so I can get this. I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but anyways, this right here has to get all cleaned up before I put new weather stripping on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just sand it down, get all this nasty stuff off, and that'll be part of painting the door when I paint the door. And now that all that stuff is off, I'm going to replace my window motor and get that all squared away once I take the door off, so that when I do, and I'll show you right now. So when I do actually, when I do go ahead and put the door back on, the window motor will be good. But watch how slow the window goes up. So it's really struggling. So pretty much what I'm gonna do is replace the window motor. The one on the other side is just as bad, and I think it just came from, you know, having that bad weather stripping on there and the water getting down in there and just messing it up, to be honest with you, because it wasn't always like that. And obviously the car is not driven all the time, so it's not like I was using the window all the time. I think it's just because of that. But anyways, man, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up today, because this stuff over here is not dry yet. I'm gonna just mark it, take the bumper off, and then we'll get to it. So anyways, man, let's go ahead and chop it, and then, you know, we'll get done with this video. All right, grind schoolers, that's gonna do it for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed it, man. We're making great progress on the car. I just wanted to take care of the little things that I had to take care of, take the mirrors out, take the door handles out and the locks, and get that front bumper, cut out and measured up, so that we could, when it goes back on after it's painted, after the body filler and all that kind of stuff is done on that, we can just go ahead and throw it back on, and we don't have to worry about it again. And then we can also continue to keep moving on the car, because the door handle and the mirror where that stuff is, that stuff has to get sanded out. The front of the fender has to get sanded off, so I had to take the bumper off and all that kind of good stuff. So that's the reason why we had to take care of that today, so that we can keep moving with the body filler, so we can get this car in polyester primer. And as you saw, the roof is knocked down, so we're done with that. And now we can just keep on moving. Like I said, I want to try to get this thing in polyester primer within the next couple of weeks. Now that depends on how far and how fast I'm able to sand down the car with all the body filler and stuff like that. But with seeing how the progress has been going, it seems to me like that's gonna be a possibility. So yeah, man, like I said, that's all I wanted to do today, and really just continue to keep moving, continue to bring you guys content. I know it's not really too crazy or nothing like that, but this is what I'm doing to the car. And I'm trying to keep you guys posted and updated and all that kind of stuff. From this point on, this car will probably not be driving out on the streets anymore until we, till after the doors come off and go back on. So after we paint the jams and do all that kind of stuff, put the car in polyester primer and stuff like that, this car will probably sit until that stuff is done and it's ready to be painted all the way. And it might not even be driven on the streets until pretty much after, until it's painted. So that kind of gives you guys an indication of how fast I'm trying to get this thing together. I probably anticipate maybe another month and a half. Just depends on my time and availability, really. But you know, for the most part, man, things are coming together. The pieces of the puzzle are starting to fall together pretty perfectly. So and then the next stage, obviously the polyester primer and the guide coat and all that kind of stuff, it really depends on how long it's going to take me to really get through that stage. Once I'm done through the polyester stage, the rest of everything else should go and come together really quickly, because after that we'll epoxy prime, and then the epoxy prime, the foundation of the car should be super duper solid, because obviously I did the body fill from the metal stage, and then I'm going to do the polyester stage, which is like a spray-on body filler, which will get all the imperfections that I may have missed with the regular body filler, because I'm not skim coating the whole car. I skim coated the whole hood and the roof of the car, and then I'm just going to patch coat, I guess, the rest of the car where there are imperfections, because there's not imperfections everywhere, and that's going to be a lot of sanding. You know, I know there's a lot of body shops that will skim coat the whole car, but you got 4 or 5 guys, you know, sanding down the car after it's skim coated and stuff like that. And that's like $1,000 paint. I mean, like $100,000 paint job to do it like that. You know what I mean? To really take the time and the effort to do it like that. I don't really feel like I need to do that, so we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna do the spray-on body filler, and it should fill in all the imperfections. Then we'll do the guide coat, and then any imperfections that we find after that, which there shouldn't be too many. After that, we'll go ahead and glaze putty the pinholes that I find, and also we'll go ahead and fill in any low spots that we do have. And then after that, the epoxy primer will get laid down, and we don't really want to sand the epoxy primer too much. We'll wet sand it, and pretty much the body lines should be 100% laser perfect. I won't say 100%, but laser perfect. And you, to the eye, you won't be able to see any imperfections in the car. That's what I'm hoping for, and that's what I'm trying to achieve, because my mindset and my mind frame throughout this whole thing is paint will not hide anything. That's what I keep telling myself when I'm doing this body work, because I want to make sure that I do it to a T, to where I'm not trying to overcompensate for anything else. But anyways, man, that's kind of the plan. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep on chugging along on it. And yeah, so the next time, hopefully you guys see this car, we should be done with the sanding on at least the driver's side. At least the driver's side, and then we'll go to the passenger side, be done with that. And then once we're done with all of that, it'll be ready to continue to move on to the next stage. But anyways, man, I hope y'all enjoyed the video, man. I appreciate y'all rocking with your boy. Like I always say, I always appreciate the love, the comments, the support. But yeah, man, that's gonna conclude this video. I hope, like I said, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I'm trying to produce all this content for y'all, man, and I hope y'all are like enjoying the ride, the process of building this El Camino, because I'm enjoying it. I think that this thing is gonna be super duper dope once it's finished, and you know, hopefully y'all think so too. But anyways, man, go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell notification. And if it's not too hard to ask, go ahead and share it with a friend that may like and enjoy the content just like yourself, to help get these videos out to more and more people, a greater audience, a bigger audience, and stuff like that. But without further ado, always remember, work hard so you can live free.